Hi, I'm Catherine
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break.
with Cat and Mom. Welcome back to our podcast. Today's episode 50-something. I have no idea. And today we are going to be doing part 2 of our series. If you want to introduce it, because she came up with the idea.
Oh, I can't remember the whole title of what it was.
It was kind of just like the impacts on our daily lives, like big stressors that we all go through, and
especially at a younger age.
Yeah.
Like when you're becoming a big girl,
like going into the real world.
Yeah.
But just like, I mean, I think everybody can relate to at least one of these. But last time we talked about like technology, going into like your career and social media. So
yeah, and AI and all those things.
yeah. And I think that's a very good episode. We had some very good conversation on all that. But today we have 2 different topics, which is
economics and financial independence, and identity, relationship, and social issues.
Yeah. Which we can all, like, has all impacted us in one way or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think financial independence is a very big thing that almost everybody goes through.
Oh, and
eventually you leave the house, you leave the nest, and you kind of have to figure it out. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into it, we are going to do our week in review. This week, I just wrapped up on midterms, and I actually have an interview this Friday. Right? This Friday? Next Friday?
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Yeah.
Or this Friday. Whatever. At 10 a.m. So I'm kind of nervous for that. And then I started taper for my Ironman. So it's been pretty chill. Had to get an IV because I've been like very dehydrated.
It's good IVs.
Yeah.
It's the vitamin C.
Like I chose to get it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you need to get an IV.
Like let's just be a little bit more. It was for it's been a little bit challenging with her body and things changing. Trying to keep her healthy, basically. When she was doing that for swimming, tapering always got her, a cold or something like that. So we're trying to keep her healthy. So she came at the office, had another doctor, just a fresh eye on what's going on with her because I see her every day. And we chose to go do those vitamin IVs. So just to help her replenish, she was very dehydrated. So
I also think it's like the stress and the anxiety that I go through during taper. Like I went through this for all the big meets. Like I would stress myself out so much that I think I would make myself like ill because of it. So I just need to relax and like stop overthinking my training, because at this point it's too late to overthink that and just trust the process. So
well, like we explained, like even the other doctor that we were with, the other chiropractor, saying like, what are you going to change in the next 2 weeks? Like, what are you going to improve?
Yeah, you can't really you gain no edge or advantage in the next 2 weeks, or like better endurance. Is kind of just one, like maintaining your fitness, because you're not going to lose anything.
Zero in onto your strategy.
Yeah, and just
get ready.
Kind of like centering yourself, like getting in the zone.
Mm-hmm. So. And then on my part, it's been a crappy week as well. We lost our beloved cat. We had to put her down, and
she's been actually in our. If you go look at our where we talk about like our favorite books and stuff, she's actually featured in that podcast episode. So if you want to go meet Daphne,
we rescued her 5 years ago, and we just her health started to decline a lot in the past 2-3 weeks.
I think that like we didn't necessarily notice it, but it's been like a couple months of her slowly like
changing, and her behavior changed as well, and then it just turned to the worst from Monday to Tuesday night to Tuesday morning. And so Tuesday was really, really rough. And then it just, I don't know, like, I'm slowly getting over it, but then it just, other things piled up. So Friday couldn't come fast enough and just do nothing. But today we had a good day. I spent the day with my girls.
Yep.
So that was a lot of fun. So so that was this week. But then we did try, we've been to a coffee shop named The Seed down in Boca Raton. We had never tried the one in Jupiter, although their menu is pretty...
Well, first, let me explain briefly, because for those of you that are new, you're probably wondering why they call it a coffee break when we're not even holding a coffee. It's because
we already drank it.
Yeah, we were drinking and it's nighttime. But we go to a new coffee shop every episode, or we try to at least, and we'll come back and let you guys know how it was and review it and tell you guys where it's at so you can go try it. And we went to the Seed here in Jupiter because, like she said, we already went to
We like
Boca.
small. We like small
Local,
local coffee shops. So
Yeah, and they just opened up that location. It started out as one, and everybody just loved it because they have the best matcha, and their strawberry cold foam is to die for. I don't know.
I know we tried to. I mean, you know how that's all I'm drinking for you guys who've been watching this. I tried to go, but when we saw it, I was like, we got to go try that one. It's the best one. It's my first place I had a matcha.
Yeah, but then we went to the new location.
It was not quite as quaint as the original one.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a different vibe. Food, drinks, as good. I mean, that the level is the same, but
It's a little bit smaller. There's not much seating.
it's
Very busy. It's not somewhere you'd sit down.
Yeah, it was more like it was just I don't know. It was
The
just,
outside looks more like more sit down area outside.
than inside.
Yeah.
And then my youngest daughter, Amelia, got what was it called?
CREAM cream smoothie.
Yes, and there was some chia seeds in there, and I think spinach and whatever, and she just drank
She
the whole
loved-
thing.
she
She
loved
said it
it,
was
yeah.
amazing. So look out for the pictures. You're going to post some pictures on it.
Yeah, I already
so.
did post them actually.
Oh, okay.
And then I posted some pictures of Gilbert's coffee as well.
Yeah.
Because that was last week's episode, and that's in Port Salerno, and that was very good as well. But if you guys are in Jupiter or Boca, or I think there's also another location in Boca or near Delray, there's another Seed. So go check that out. They have a Cinnabon latte too that I know is very good. So if you're in the
Their
lattes,
bagel bombs are
yes, they
the
have
bomb.
a new monthly flavor of bagel bombs every month.
Mhm.
So go try. I think it was key lime pie, which is very interesting. But
Oh, weird.
yeah, but
I just
the
think the
everything
original
bagel.
one. It's everything
bombs,
bagel with
yes.
cream cheese in it. It's just amazing.
So good. So go check out the Seed if you
Yeah.
guys are nearby. And now we will dive into our topic.
Okay. So economics and financial independence. So it kind of points of like rising cost of living and how it affects mental health and lifestyle. That's not just for like you going into the world. I think
Yeah.
it's for everybody into the world. Side hustles, gig work, unconventional income paths that now you can get, online, like as extra income and things like that. And then I think the biggest thing that's more like for your generation right now is have it all together by your 20s and your 30s. First question. Do you feel financial independence is harder to achieve than it was for past generations?
Yes, I think in a way it really depends on the situation and where you're at. Not for the people in the Great Depression, obviously. That was a lot harder. But I think that now, just like the state of the world, especially in the US, like the minimum wage or even like the salary that I'd say the average salary that people make in the US doesn't compare with the cost of living. Like it's so off. The cost of living is so much higher and doesn't match with like
It
the
doesn't
average.
match at all. Yeah.
Like people cannot sustain like themselves, and especially if they have a family and kids. That's so much.
Mhm.
That's just like not sustainable. Like they can't.
Food and things like that. Like
Like a lot of people have to work 2-3 jobs because
Mhm.
I think today it's just so much harder.
Yes, it is. However, I think it was harder for each generation at each point, like where you were at. But I think there's also, like maybe back then that you were graduating, maybe college was not as, college was big when I was, let's say my generation, but let's say before, you're coming out of high school and then you had to go work and start your life. And so that was hard, where now like you're college, but now I think kids sometimes graduating, unless you have like a specific, diploma when you come out, like you're a doctor or you're an electrician or whatever it is, you get to go to your job. If it's more of a broad like you, sometimes kids come back home because they just don't know. Like they don't start there and they don't have money because, oh my gosh, college is so expensive too. So they come out with a huge amount of debt and then, okay, go and pay your bills.
Yeah, a lot of people can't get jobs in that field that they majored in, so they have to like you said, work a job that has nothing to do with what they majored in school. Or like with me for finance, you have to get these certificates or like pay for these exams after doing all the schooling, you have to pay for these exams so that you are now certified to work in the finance field. But these people that graduate college and just decide not to go to school can pay for these exams and study for them and be at a higher point than you are because they didn't go to college, so they had all these years to kind of get that experience. So it's just really frustrating.
Yes. And for parents too. I mean, let's just be honest. Like you think your kid's going to go to college and get this amazing education, which is sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But for them to come back home and say, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, what are your biggest worries when it comes to money or future stability?
Bills for sure. Like now that I'm like gonna get my own place at some point here, and then like a big girl job, it's like making sure that I have the salary to pay for the rent for this and make sure that I have money for groceries and the bills and all that stuff. So that's definitely my biggest worry is, and like getting a couch for the apartment. Like you think about the rent for the apartment, but then you don't think about the stuff that you actually have to buy in the apartment to live. So that sucks. And then like gas and all that. So basic needs.
Being like in the real world.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like, I really don't know how to say this. I don't want to say pressure or panicked or whatever, but have you ever felt like you're not where people think you're supposed to be at, right now?
Yeah. You see a lot of people my age on like social media that are making millions of dollars because of their social media. So much dropped on my face. Or they started their business in their 20s and I'm graduating in 2 months and I have no idea what I'm going to do. Or there's people that did better at making connections while they were in school or just better at interacting and already had those connections because their family. So like right out of college getting this amazing job, or there's a kid at FAU who had an internship with this like multi-millionaire and got to like spend the day with him and stuff. And it's like, how did you meet this guy? I like don't know anybody. So for sure.
Well, that's we have to be realistic that 98% of the people that are going to graduate the same day as you are in the same position as you. So there's always like that one person or, that you see on social media, like making millions. First, is it true? Okay. And second, what was their background? How did they started that? And some of them are like, like Steve Jobs that had nothing and started in their garage. Okay. That's one thing. But some of them come from a wealthy family and they already had like all the things to do it all and having like, all the facility of doing like, just like us, the podcast, you know what? She edits everything. We don't have somebody that does it for us. We bought all of our equipment. We don't have like you see us filming in different places and stuff because, we don't have a studio. So, but we love doing it and it's fine. We're okay with that. We wish maybe eventually we'll have all that, but still, we need to be realistic that, when you see this on social media, like, oh my gosh, this person made it. Oh my gosh, this person made millions this year. But let's be realistic. How did that all started and
is it really fulfilling to that person? Like, they could be making millions, but again, they're not like actually living. They're constantly working and they're not actually able to enjoy that luxury of having all that money. Yeah.
And also I think that, like seeing, what's the word that I said, being where you're supposed to be or where you should be at your age. I think that's the same thing for every age bracket. Like I didn't see myself being where I'm at right now at my age, the way I work. I work more hours now this because the clinic where I work, that's what they do for hours. But, if you ask me at 21 years old where I would be when I would be 50, certainly not working what I'm working right now. I would have never thought that. Like you can't plan. I mean, you can plan certain things for your future, but you don't know what curveball life's going to throw at you, and you have to just catch it and make the best out of it. And some days are harder, some days are easier. I have my girls with me, which is what's important in my life. But I think it's for every point in your life. I mean, you can ask a 65-year-old person today that thought that he thought he would be retired by now, and he can't.
Yeah.
Because he has to work to make a living in order to pay his bills. And so and then you have the ones that we met at the market that he now draws and paints, and he was
I thought that was a
working.
beautiful story.
He was working in a wood mill. Is that what it was?
I don't know, but
It was
working
like
some-
a sort of factory something, and his dream was to paint. That's what he wanted to do, and he was always
you
told that you can't live
can't
by just
sustain a life as a artist.
and you shouldn't be doing this. That was, by his family, by his friends and stuff. So, and then one day he just got sick of it. I mean, he's older now, and he says he's so happy now because he quit that job and he started painting.
Yeah, it was
And he
really
sells his
inspiring to
paintings.
see like somebody that just said screw it and followed their dream, and like seeing that he's so much older, like you can take that action now as a younger person instead of waiting all these years and then deciding to do that.
Yeah, it's just that was actually a good story about that. But also, how do you budget, save, or plan financially, if at all?
I've been saving for like ever now since I remember. I'd say like middle school, whenever I'd get birthday money or money on Christmas, I would just save it. I taught some lessons. I would save it right away. I would never spend it. I just put like a little bit to the side to spend. I'm also very cheap, so
If she doesn't spend her money,
I
she
spend
asks
her
her mom
money.
to spend my money.
Yeah. Yep. And then I mostly saved it so that I could travel out of school because I knew that's something I always wanted to do. I don't know when that will happen exactly, but I also spent a lot of money on this Ironman, which I think was meant to happen. I think it's a good thing that I saved up because now I'm capable of doing this that I think has changed me for the better
Absolutely.
in just such a short amount of time. And it's been very fulfilling and changed my views on a lot of things. And like, usually people think, well, you should be in your 20s, you should be partying and enjoying that with your friends. But I think I found this to be a lot more fulfilling, and I'll actually remember the training. So,
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think we all will.
Yeah.
Remember your training. Would you choose a lower paying job if it meant better mental health?
yes, absolutely. But like sometimes I think that it can cause mental struggles when you're working in a lower paying job that you love, but then now you don't have the money to pay for this stuff. So it can still cause some like mental turmoil, but overall you're doing something that you love every day. So I think that it is better for you in the end.
In the end, yep. Okay, identity, relationships, and social issues. So some talking points: the complexity of modern identity and self-expression. Dating app, that's the dating app culture, the social, platform, ghosting, defining modern love. And I know, like, for me, ghosting was a new thing. When you guys started to be on social media, I'm like, oh, he ghosted me. What? Like, didn't know what
Sorry,
that
I
was.
keep yawning. I can't stop. It's uncontrollable.
Or, like when we were saying, like, how you cancel somebody now, you just delete them, whatever, blah, 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 block them, like for us, it was, you hang up the phone, you don't pick up the phone, and then we didn't have caller ID, so you didn't even know who was calling you.
That's scary.
But when you were just like so pissed off at somebody, it was so satisfactory that you just like slam the
And now you can't really crack your screen.
you can't even do
But
this.
yeah,
It's
now
so-
you can just block people. But like that's kind of like, I guess ghosting is kind of hard these days because of like social media.
yeah, they still can find you.
You really
know?
just need to like block the person. But then you have like other people who have social media that you're friends with that you can just like look at it from their phone.
I know, right? So technically, you said, well, back then, like I said, like I remember when the caller ID came about on our phones. Holy shit, was that a life changing? Like, it was just and scary at the same time because like, oh shit, they're calling. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not picking up.
But at least you can choose not to pick up because you see the name.
Yeah, well, we still do that now. Now there's people
Yeah.
we don't even pick up now. Nobody wants to talk anymore. They all want to text. So nobody knows how to do like a conversation, a normal conversation.
Yeah.
But there's so many freaking spam phone calls anyways. Okay, question. How has your sense of identity changed in the past few years?
I would say that
all know.
sorry. I would say that it's definitely changed. I think in high school I was very, I don't know, I just followed what I was supposed to do, kind of listened to what everybody else said and followed the trends and also just cared about other people's opinions. And I think I'm still trying to figure out my identity and it's changing along the way, but I'll figure it out.
I think it changes throughout your life.
Mhm.
I think I've changed a lot in the past 4 or 5 years. I think it's just I don't want to say you redefine yourself, but you just change and you mature and life around you changes. You're part of your life where you're at now, like where I was where you were at. You don't know when you're going to be at my age, if you're going to have kids or not, grandkids or not. Everything changes actually throughout this. But I like the story that and she made me cry that day, she was a freshman, I came to visit, and whether Florida is still her place or not, she said in the car out of the blue, I remember we were passing the bridge on Blue Heron, and you said, I just think I'd found my place. Like, I think this is my place. I just found myself. And it made me cry because there's not really too many 20-something-year-olds that could say this. Like, I personally can say when I was 21, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I had moved to a different country, a different language, and I was like, shit, did I make the right choice, But I think that in a sense, you kind of defined yourself there. But just the fact that I saw you growing into this person, she's a hardworking, even if she says she doesn't want to work, she will work, but she's a hardworking person, like really strong-headed on a lot of things. But this Ironman that you decided to train for, you have not missed one workout, back down, complain, whatever. Sometimes, of course, you didn't want to go, but you still did it. Like even today, like I really just don't want to swim, as you're getting into the water and start swimming. It just, it's mental and stuff, but it defines you as you made the decision, instead of partying all the time, you decided to do this.
Yeah. And I think that came from when I was a swimmer.
Not that she doesn't like to party and have fun. And I'm saying party, I'm not saying just drinking. Just saying,
I love to dance. So
yes, we all do with our family.
I think what I thought used to be my identity was swimming. When you're like an athlete and that's all you do, like day in, day out, is just think about your sport, and you are going to practice morning and night. And I used to do 3 practices a day, where I'd do morning, some sort of like dry land workout, and then night swim. That I thought was my identity. But what really was my identity was that it shaped me into like a person that like I'm able to do this Ironman training, because it's just like, it just comes easy. It's not easy, but like the dedication comes easy to me. Like, forcing myself to do these workouts and enjoying it, because that's what I learned and grew into from swimming. So,
because who sits on a bike for 5 hours and bikes without losing their mind?
Well, I lost my mind for sure. But it's like rooted from like everything that I've learned when I was a swimmer.
It's a lot of discipline, I think. You were able to still study, and you're graduating early, a whole semester early. So it's just, I think it's a lot of dedication and really structuring your life, and, being just, I think sports, I'm not saying every kid needs to be in the sport, but I think every kid needs to be involved in something else than just school.
Something that they find fulfilling. It's a hobby, something that can like take their mind off of school and stress and stuff.
But also you can plan, and it shapes your whole life. I think it's like I said, you were able to even now graduate early. You graduated early high school. Your big sister did the same thing. It's just, you were able to, do everything that needed to be done. You were able to schedule things ahead and this and that. So now you're ready ahead for a lot of things. It's just, I think it's great. Like I said,
I wish I could put that on my resume, like Ironman training.
Or I graduated early.
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder or easier to form meaningful relationships today?
Yes, in a way.
Like okay, today meaning in like your age today, and also today because of all the social media we have.
I think it's harder in the sense that, like, when I was in middle school, high school, college, you're constantly surrounded by people in your age that are usually, like, especially in college, like, you're moving from different places to this one spot. Everybody's looking for friends. Everybody's looking to meet people. And that's kind of like, not the point of it, obviously, you're going there for school, but, like, you want to meet a friend group, and everybody's open to that. So it's a lot easier to connect with people. There's Instagram, all that. Versus, like, now that I'm going to be moving somewhere, starting, like, a big girl job, it's harder to meet people, like how do you go to a new state and get a friend group and meet people from that state and that town. So that's why I think it's harder for me now. But what was the other part of the question? Oh, technology.
Yeah.
But social media definitely helps because I know there's like communities on Facebook, but are other people in my age group on Facebook?
Well, I think it's both sides for social media part, because there's a lot of fake people on social media.
Oh yeah.
So it's always scary. Whatever they say on one end, is this really going to get what you're going to get when you see them? When I did not have social media, so my generation, you actually had to get out. You had to get out to meet people. Like you had them on the phone. There was no interview on the phone. There was no FaceTime, whatever you like, or anything. You had to go in face to face with that person. I think a lot of people right now, in not just your generation, but even below me or whatever, even younger, they don't even talk on the phone. Like I think there's a disconnect somewhere that I think it's harder to make meaningful relationship.
Yeah, or just communicating like where to hang out, where to meet up, what you want to do.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to sit down and talk to you. You know, like stuff like that is
and
just
not have it be awkward
and not on your phone and things like that. And also like in my office, we are a lot of women on the medical side where I'm at. And, you know, when you're going to go, you just said you're going to move somewhere and you just have moved here or even went to school to a different state, different language, you're going to go somewhere else. Or maybe it's going to be next door. Who the hell knows where you're going to end up? But you're still going to have to get into an office where there's already relationships already, you know, made. And then you go in there and you're just like, am I going to fit in? Am I going to be able to, you know, be friends with these people? They seem tight. And I just been through this and I'm the oldest one. Like one of the girl could be my daughter because she's pretty much your age, you know?
Yeah.
And actually she's friends with her. But we're colleagues, you know, and we worked together and she already was friends with another one. And then my new assistant came in. Is she going to fit in with everybody? And then another medical assistant is over there. Is she going to fit with us? And we have patients that tell us like, it's unbelievable how all of you get along. I mean, it was not like that. Like I've been there since March. There's been a couple of like in and outs, you know, like employees and it didn't mesh well, but I don't know if that's why they got fired, but I mean, this meshed well, but we are all different position. We're not after each other's position because none of us is at the same, you know, doing the same job, but we're still all women. You know, women are mean, girls are mean, and we manage to all get along.
Yeah,
so
it's a really nice environment there. So hopefully, I mean, usually people meet other people from their work, but like where I'm interviewing at, which I have an interview Friday, 10 a.m. I think I already said that, but it's like older, like the older generation. So it's like,
well, then you're gonna be.
But maybe they have kids that are my age.
Maybe you're gonna be like everybody's granddaughter, and then just like they'll take care of you.
Well, they're not that old. Maybe daughter. Maybe they have kids like my age that I can meet and be friends with. So who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so what's your take on modern? And we were just talking about that, like dating culture, empowering or exhausting?
Definitely like modern day dating. You said, definitely exhausting to see it pan out because I've been in a relationship for 5 years. And I obviously believe in dating to marry. Obviously, if something doesn't work out with a guy, like that doesn't work out. I think that I've seen a lot of girls who started out with this dream of finding like this, like love, like a romance movie. And then guys kind of crush that dream and cheat on them or break their trust in a way or break their heart. And they kind of lose that dream. And it's turned into a big hookup culture. And that's all people really want. They don't want to settle down. They're scared of commitment. They're scared of a guy cheating on them again. So it's losing my voice right now. Yeah. So it's really just one big hookup culture, and it's sad.
I think, like I just said, you know, in the previous question, how we meet. You know, like you said, it's easier, like, you know, because we have social media, we meet people. Well, that's the thing. Online dating, people have fake accounts or fake, you know, like it's not even really them. Then you go and meet them in person. It's freaking scary.
It's a catfish.
To be honest.
It's not what they look like at all.
You know, you need to have your friends to know exactly where you're at. You need to know your location, what's going on. I think it's so scary and it's exhausting because you kind of have to restart all over. You're just like, We had one episode about bad dating experiences,
Oh, yeah.
and one of my friends is on those apps, and the people that she met, the stories she's had for us was like that was like a season one.
Crazy.
I mean,
That's why it's so hard
crying,
for these
laughing,
people
yes.
that date to marry, because these people are crazy.
Oh my gosh,
nowadays.
it's just unbelievable. And she said, "What? But she said she's normal, you know? She's like, I'm a normal person on this site. I mean, is there any other person that's normal like me that just like I just want to meet someone and like have a meaningful relationship? It's like that doesn't mean she just got out of divorce. Just that doesn't mean I want to get married tomorrow. But could you be normal with a job and
Just have a conversation.
like yeah, and be able to talk? Or I mean, the stuff that she's been through and still to today because she's still on it. And sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's scary. You know, it's like I said, it's exhausting. It's just kind of sad that.
Well, and some of these single girls see that they don't see the girlfriend. They don't care that the guy has a girlfriend, and
She's messing on my pillow.
they'll still go after the guy. There's been girls that have tried to get with my boyfriend when we're literally in a relationship, and it's on his Instagram. It's like, it's not just the guys that are the problem. It's also can be the girls
too.
because they're ruthless, and you're not gonna get my man because you're stupid. So.
Don't say that, but they are. Okay. Did school actually prepare you for like the real world, the real conversation, the like going out in the world?
Yes, I think so. It's like my college campus is like a mini town, so not really a town, but like you meet all different kinds of people. FAU is very diverse, so you meet all different kinds of people from all over. I met people from exactly all different countries, and it's helped me understand a lot of different cultures and just interact with a lot of people. Helped me read people a lot better, and also with teachers. Just building a good relationship with those like higher than you, and I think it just helped me in general communicate with people.
I think that in a sense it really does help you for stuff like that, and it also does not help you depending on where you're going in the world afterwards, but to prepare you to go into like that new job or that new world or coming out and say, okay, you have a diploma now, live.
Oh yeah, that's where it gets tricky because it's like, well, just where do I go now? Like, you guys didn't teach me this, you know?
Yeah. But what do I do after that? Like I said earlier, depending on what you graduated in, what you have as a diploma, like for me, I became a chiropractor. Well, then you're going to be a chiropractor. That's what it is. It still doesn't prepare you into, well, shit, now I have to fill all this. I mean, they tell you you're going to have to do this. You practice, you know, you're in a student clinic, you're seeing patients, you have all this, but then you go into the real world, you're like, okay, but where do I start?
Right.
Because it's already there when you're in school, right? Everything is there and it's ready for you. Then you're like now walking in, it's just like, oh yeah, okay, so like I know nothing in this office. Like,
and we have like career fairs and stuff where you can like meet companies in the area, and it's like, well, what if you don't want to be in the area? Like, what do you do if you want to live somewhere else? And then like the moving process, and are they going to hire you even though there's like this time gap between moving? So that's.
I would say most companies now, though, they do offer even incentives. I can say that word correctly. Incentives for moving, you know, because they want you, like even the job I have now, he wanted me to be closer. Yeah. So there was, you know, if I needed up to whatever amount of money to help with the move, they do offer that too.
That's nice.
So yeah, I would say
hopefully they,
if they go and recruit you from far away, I would say most, like all the time, they will offer that. Okay. One last question. How do you navigate peer pressure or societal expectations right now?
I think I navigate it pretty well. I just hit the mic, so sorry. I think I navigate it pretty well, and I've always navigated it pretty well. I don't really give in to peer pressure at all, especially like in college. Like,
stop!
You're like
she's messing on my pillow,
like our cat, and he like snacks my hand. But I think that like especially freshman and sophomore year, if there's something I didn't want to do, I was very like I stuck with what I said. Like I really did not care what you had to say, and that still goes on. I think that's something I've been very good with is not falling into that peer pressure when it comes to like the bigger picture, like how I'm supposed to live my life. Sometimes I get caught up in the overthinking of what my life should look like.
It will be a beautiful life. You will make it. You know that. You will make it a beautiful life.
I'm praying that things come together. So
it will. It always does, even if you don't seem like it now. And that's at every age. I would say even your grandma. Sometimes, some days she probably was like, how's that going to pan out? And then it does, So God is there watching us, and he has the big answer, and he will make it happen. So I think this is it for us.
I think that was that was the second part of our series. So go check out part one.
Part one.
I think that we've had a lot of good conversation, and I think a lot of people
we went more serious. Yeah.
I think a lot of people can relate to those struggles and those big stressors that have a large impact on all of our lives. And let us know what you guys think. Our DMs are open, so if you want to talk about anything, or you want us to talk about anything in our next upcoming episodes, just let us know, and we will for sure.
And we always finish with a would you rather. And now being close to Halloween, so I'm going to keep this with a Halloween theme. So actually, your younger sister came up with this. Oh. Would you rather be buried alive for 15 minutes, or being stuck in the dark at night in an insane asylum for 15 minutes? You don't know where you're going. You can't see where you're going. Either or. Tough one, huh? She went dark on that one. So.
That sounds miserable. Okay. I can't do buried alive. I actually can't. I'm getting anxiety thinking about it. Hopefully the insane asylum has some sort of emergency measures, No.
There's no emergency, nothing.
Doors are open.
No, you have to. It's in the dark at night. You can't see shit.
Okay, so they can't see me. So I'll figure it out.
They're ghosts. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I have Jesus on my side, so I'm gonna go with the insane asylum, and I'm not getting buried alive. So.
Okay, that's a good one.
If you guys are near Boca or Jupiter, go check out the Seed. They have amazing matcha, amazing lattes. So go check them
bagel
out. Amazing.
Bombs. Get their bagel bombs. Yeah.
Yep. And then I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go follow us on Instagram at @coffee.break, TikTok at @coffee_break, and our podcast episodes come out every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes a little bit later because I have to edit it all by myself. And I'm losing my voice. So we're going to go to bed now, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.